everyone. Welcome to day 299 of our journey through the Bible in a year. 299. That's one less than 300. Can you believe it? All right, so today we are looking at a set of passages from Matthew, Mark, and Luke. These are all moments where Jesus is teaching in the final week of his ministry. There's a common thread running through all of these passages, which is basically what God really values and what following him actually looks like. So we'll walk through just the highlights because it is quite a bit. We start with Jesus gets asked which commandment is the most important. And he gives that beautiful, simple answer. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. He's basically saying, you want to boil down your entire faith. It's not about keeping rules. It's about love. And the lesson here is that if our faith isn't rooted in love, we're missing the point. Then Jesus flips the script and asks the religious leaders a question about the Messiah being both David's son and David's Lord. And they can't answer. So what's the point here? Is he just trying to make them look bad? Jesus is showing that he is more than just a human king. He is the divine Messiah. Sometimes our problem isn't a lack of knowledge, it's unwillingness to accept truth when it challenges our assumptions. And that's what happens with the religious leaders here. Then Jesus calls out the religious leaders for loving attention, for loving power and status, and neglecting justice and mercy. In Matthew, Jesus even tells the crowds, do what they teach, but don't do what they do. And the lesson here is that spiritual leadership is not about performance. It's about humility. God isn't impressed by a show. He looks at the heart. Then we get into the woes, right? When Jesus says, woe are you, woe are you. This is Jesus at some of his most intense moments. He lists all the ways that the religious leaders are blocking people from knowing God. But even in his warnings to them, there's compassion. He ends by lamenting over Jerusalem, like a mother wanting to gather her children. And the lesson in these passages is that God's heart breaks for people who resist him. He wants them to know him and wants them to be close to him. Jesus's warnings are expressions of love, not of anger. Then Jesus tells the story of the widow's offering. He watches people giving at the temple. The wealthy give big amounts, but a poor widow drops in 2 tiny coins. And Jesus says she gave more than everyone else because she gave out of sacrifice, not out of surplus. God measures our giving by the heart behind it, not by the amount that we give. And sometimes the smallest gift is the biggest in the eyes of heaven. So that was all the shortest that I could make, what we read today. And when you put all of that together, there's a pretty clear picture of what matters to Jesus. Love God, love people, be humble, live honestly, not just for show. When you give with a sincere heart, and be willing to let God challenge the parts of you that need to change. That's what true discipleship looks like. It's not perfection, but a heart that is aligned with God. So that's what I have for us today, and I will see you next week. Bye.